Welcome to another night of the Western Racing League Truck Series. We are here at Dover. My name is Chris Murphy with DRSN qualifying, just getting underway. First driver out on the racetrack is the 56, and Nick Trader. Nick picked up the pole the last 2 weeks in a row. Last week it was Watkins Glen. The week before that was Texas Motor Speedway. Can he make it 3 poles in a row? The 56, a Trader out on the racetrack. While they're getting wound up, I'll take a quick look at the point standings coming into tonight. We are on week number 9 of this long season. David Sluter still at the top, even though he's only picked up 1 win on the season, still has the points lead. Everett Larson has had a great season. He has found himself in second. Nick Trader in third. Rick Modric in the 4th spot. Victor Keith down 2 spots after his not stellar run. He got involved in an incident on lap number 1 at Watkins Glen. He falls down to 5th in the points. Lynn and Slagan in 6th. Brandon Cal 7th. Bryce Dickman in the 8th spot. Michael Champlin moved up a spot last week up to 9th. Quentin Steinbach in 10th. That is your top 10 right now in the point standings. We're going to take a look here. Cars out on the racetrack. Nick Trader right now at the top. And here comes Landon Slagan with a 23.24 is going to knock Trader down to second. A 23.243 for Slagan. Trader in second. He is not going to have 3 poles in a row. Somebody told me how to say Petchen's name. It's Peachin, I think is what I was told. So the 9 of Shane Peachin is going to come home in the 4th spot. Suter 5th right now. Brady Zeller. We got a couple of drivers going to share their webcams with us tonight. I need to get... Oh, actually, we got more than I thought we did. We need to get this set up here real quick, as we are live here with the Western Racing League. Looks like I may have lost my... I got to get this going here while we're getting qualifying underway. Andrew Bowman here in the 25. It looks like we also need to do some refreshing. So we just got done covering the Dirty Old Bastards 360 Sprint Season 22 finale. But as we're getting going here, we're going to go ahead and get so there is our drivers for the night. Looks like we got Corbin Raker with us, Quentin Steinbach, Mason Only, Michael non-finisher Sparks. He struggled last week, did not come home with a win, so that's a good nickname for Michael tonight. Dean Wedeking and Brady Zeller, webcams tonight. Steinbach kicking back, getting ready to go racing here. Mason going to give us a little wave there in the cam. Hey Mason, good to see you, buddy. All right, qualifying looks to be wrapping up. We got about 2 minutes left to go. Who do we have left out here on the racetrack right now? Rick Modric in the 71 completed his lap. He's at a 23.61. So 20 drivers have made their way onto the racetrack. I think we got 30 in the lobby. Everett Larson with a good time. He is going to jump up to 3rd. Getting all of our overlays and everything all set up here for you. All right, Slagan right now with fast time. We've got at least a couple drivers still on the racetrack. We see the 40 of Tyler Brewer making his way out onto the racetrack. Declan Beatty also in the 27. Trying to get a lap in here late, and Declan's just going to park on the front straightaway here. So Brewer in the 40. See if he can find his way up into the top 5 here at Dover. Across the line there for Tyler Brewer. Let's see where he goes. Only up to 19th for the 40 of Tyler Brewer. Declan Beatty and Mason Only. So Mason got his webcam for us here. Let's check out Mason here as he makes his qualifying lap in the 35. Mason struggled last week. Last couple of weeks had some issues. Let's see if he can put together a better run here tonight. Mason's going to come across the line here off of turn number 4. Going to come across the stripe with about 30 seconds left to go in qualifying. Up to 13th for Mason Only. So 22 drivers made a lap here in qualifying. We got Michael Sparks, Daniel Sparks, Scott Larson, Declan Beatty decided to just kind of park it out here on the front straightaway. Thanks for being here with us. My name is Chris Murphy with DRSN. We're going to bring you every Tuesday night all throughout the season for the Western Racing League Trucks Viking Construction Group Truck Series. Let me get that straight. Also, one of our sponsors, Nexus Designs. I don't think we did a very good job of mentioning Nexus last week during the Watkins Glen race. And by the way, if you didn't watch that Watkins Glen race last week, go back and watch it. Nick Trader and Justin Krasinski put on a show. And Justin's not with us tonight here at Dover. But that was one of the better races you're going to watch in a long time, especially at Watkins Glen with the trucks. And we're going to get right onto the starting grid here, so let's get this going and make sure I can bring you all of the... get you all the coverage here. We actually were a little short last time. Get back to row number 1. All right, on the pole, the 91 of Landon Slagan. That might be Landon's first pole of the season. Let me just glance up through here. No, he took the pole week number 2 back at Atlanta. So Landon Slagan on the pole to his outside. It is going to be Nick Trader. Nick 1 spot short. Row number 2 on the inside, the 01 of Everett Larson and Mitchell Williams out to his outside. I think Mitchell might be new. I don't recognize him. Victor Keith in 5th. Sean Peachin is going to start in the 6th spot outside row number 3. Back to row number 4 on the inside. It is the 79 of Josh Gagnon and David Sluter, your points leader, starting in 8th. In 9th, inside row number 5, it's Andrew Bowman and Bryce Dickman starting in the 10th spot. Back to row number 6 on the inside. It's a 92 of Paul Boomershine. Good qualifying effort for Paul. He doesn't usually qualify, so good job right there from him. Brady Zeller in that great-looking paint ski baseball American flag DRSN. He's got it all in there. Brady Zeller's going to start in 12th. Back in the 7th row, in the 13th starting spot, Mason Only and Rick Modric. Back to row number 8 on the inside, in the 85, Brandon Cal and Dean Wedeking in the longboard number 44, starting 16th. In the 9th row, starting 17th, Rem Wyatt in the 60, and Ian Meneses in 18th. Back to row number 10, starting 19th, JD Biddle and the 40 of Tyler Brewer. Row number 11, starting 21st, Trent Hughes and Corbin Raker. Back to row number 12, it is Declan Beatty and Nico Cipollini. I think I gotta announce Nico's name like a baseball player. Nico Cipollini. All right. Back to row number 13, on the inside, it's Daniel Sparks with Quentin Steinbach going to start in 26th. 28th starting row, 28th. Let me see, the 14th row, 27th and 28th, Michael Sparks, no finish Michael Sparks as he nicknamed himself earlier, and the sponsor of the Western Viking Construction Group Truck Series, Scotty Larson, in the number 13. All right, 1 pace lap and we will get green flag in the air for 120 laps of action here at Dover. A little dusty down the back straightaway here at the Monster Mile tonight. 1 mile concrete, high banks. You're going to see some fantastic racing here, side by side, 3 wide. Check in on our webcams here. We're going to go green. Steinbach, Raker only. Michael Sparks, Dean Wedeking, and Brady Zeller. Brady, we got to get you to do a wide shot on your cam, buddy. I can't hardly see it. All right. Green flag in the air, this time off of turn number 4. Here comes Landon Slagan and Nick Trader on the front row. Green is in the air. 120 laps of green flag action. Well, hopefully green flag action. I guess we count the yellows here. Slagan going to take the lead down into 1. Up on the outside is Trader. Looks like the bottom's the place to be as here comes Everett Larson. Everett up alongside of Trader for 2nd. Trader with a great run off of 2. He is going to carry that speed down into 3 and 4. Nick Trader is going to be a contender all night long here. You see him using the top of the racetrack. He's kind of stuck up there. He's got Larson down the bottom. Larson going to move back up behind him. We're 3 wide back here in the middle of the racetrack. We see Boomershine and Zeller. This is back here for 11th and 12th. Modric way up on the outside trying to make something happen. Dean Wedeking in the 44. Back here in 19th, and we got some great racing going all throughout the field, but up front right now, it's the 91 of Slagan, and here comes Nick Trader on the bottom, off of turn number 4. Slagan's going to hang on to the lead. Trader has to settle back to 2nd. Larson in 3rd, side by side here for 4th and 5th now is Williams and Gagnon. Williams up on the outside, Gagnon coming up right there behind him. Is that a lap? We've got that Trent Hughes in the 80, so it was a lap car of 87, and Hughes kind of messed me up, so Trent must have not made the green flag. He's already down a lap, only 4 laps into this race. Trent Hughes finds himself 1 lap down. But right now, Slig and Trader Larson, that's your top 3. A little further back, we see this battle going on here. It looks like Sean Petchin or Peachin, as I think I was corrected. Somebody correct me again. Victor Keith right here as well in the 48. We see the lap truck on the outside of the racetrack right here. Here comes the 9, the Napa number 9 of Sean Peach and Victor Keith back there in the Kona sponsor number 48. Bowman looking down to the bottom of the racetrack, up on the top of the racetrack, actually trying to find a way around Keith to get back up to the front. It's still single file up here in the front. You're not missing any action. Larson third, Williams and Gagnon. That is your top 5. And then it's a ways back to Peachin in the 9, Bowman and Keith. Final action back here to look up Modric. Modric right here on the back of Menace, and it looks like Sparks looking down to the bottom of the 71 of Modric. Some side-by-side action. This is back here for 15th, 16th, and 17th. Expect some long green flag runs here at Dover. Trucks look to be pretty glued down on the racetrack. We didn't really see a lot of problems in practice or in qualifying. Everybody looks like the trucks setup is really... most of these guys are pretty settled in with the setup on this truck. Getting up off the corners really well. Slagan looking really good out there tonight. Definitely the fastest truck on the racetrack. He's now almost a clear of the 56 of Trader. Mitchell Williams is now reeled in Larson. We jump on board with the 54 Mitchell Williams. The top 4 are still in the same spot where they started at. Williams right now. They're starting to close up on the back of Larson. He had fallen back just a little bit, trying to get his way back up into this battle for the top, for the podium spots. And we have got a caution. Caution is out, and it looks like it might be involving the 22 of Steinbach right here. I see Cipollini maybe involved in this as well. Looks like it might have been 40 of Brewer also. So we'll see if we can see what happened here. Go back and see if we can figure this out. It looks like maybe Trent Hughes. All right, so we can see Brewer down here on the bottom. He's looking underneath Wedeking here. See up in front, I see Sparks down on the bottom of the racetrack. And that's the 71 of Modric. We're trying to figure out what happened here. Let's find Trent Hughes on our timing and scoring. We can see the 87 down the bottom. Oh, the 25 of Bowman hits the wall going down the back straightaway and just comes down the racetrack and collects Trent Hughes, and he gets hit hard by Wedeking. I think if we'd have been in the car with Wedeking right there, I think we might have seen him even jolt forward. So Dean Wedeking, unfortunately, with some heavy damage. He's got the webcam for you. He's already, it looks like he might be taking a nap there. So it looks like Wedeking may be feeling the effects of that hard contact as he is down here on pit road. And you can see the smoke pouring out of the 44, trying to get the repairs done on it. So he is going to be down there for a while, getting that thing back into shape. Down on the racetrack right now, it is the 91 of Landon Slagan, Nick Trader, Everett Larson, Mitchell Williams, Josh Gagnon. That's your top 5. All right, more action coming at you this week here on DRSN. It looks like Sparks might be out of this as well. You see the 42 of Michael Sparks. He just jumped into the YouTube chat saying out again. Actually, he said effing out. He's effing out of this race again. So Michael Sparks, unfortunate, back-to-back, at least 2 out of the last 3 weeks. Gonna come home with some damage, so unfortunate there for Michael Sparks. You know, these guys practice these tracks a lot throughout the week, so it's pretty disappointing to be out this early. The 42 of Michael Sparks. We're gonna jump in here with Michael. Hey Michael, thanks for sharing the cam, buddy. We can see you there. Really appreciate it. Unfortunate events there for you. It looked like you were gonna have a good run. So sit back and enjoy the broadcast. No, I know it's not really much of a consolation to you, but... Alright, your leader, Landon Slagan. Larson now to 4th, or excuse me, to 3rd, as Mitchell's now to 4th. We got Rem Wyatt sitting on a pit road trying to get some repairs. The 44 of Wedeking Hughes maybe out of this race. We definitely know that Sparks is out with all that smoke that was coming out of the 44. And I'm looking up the webcam for King, and he doesn't look to really be all that excited like he's going to get back in this race. So, well, 2 of our 7 webcam drivers are out of this. Larson had his webcam up for some reason. He's got it blocked here. So, all right, we're going to go back to racing. We've got 10 laps down, 110 laps left to go. Lights are out on the pace car. They're gonna, I'm just looking at my timing and scoring. It looks like the cars are going a lot faster than they really are. They're gonna come off at turn number 4 here. All right. Looks like I need to get back to live time. That was my problem on my part. So, all right, Slagan out in front. I was looking at I got another piece of time in scoring, and the trucks were going along like they were green flag racing, and I didn't go back to live time. So, sorry we missed the start right there. It's Slagan. Larson made a good run. He got up to 3rd. He gets around Trader for 2nd. Williams to 4th. Gagnon to 5th. We've still got Wyatt, Wedeking, Hughes, and Sparks out of this race. But take a look a little further back. The 9 is Sean Petchen. He's got Bryce Dickman right there in the 30 to 30. Invader number 30. Now up to 8. The big mover of the race right now is the 04 of Daniel Sparks. A good run here for Daniel. He is up 12 spots after starting in 25th, already up to 13th. But your leader right now, we got a battle for going 2nd. Trader down to the bottom. Larson up on the outside. Nice new paint job there on the 01. He is going to give up 2nd back to Trader. Down the back straightaway, and you can just see how the banking here at Dover just really keeps these trucks glued down to the racetrack. Our only caution, a mistake. Just a mistake. I'm trying to remember who made them. It was Bowman that made the mistake off the corner, and unfortunately collected Wedeking. Michael Sparks telling us he got knocked into the wall before that caution. The race stayed green. We missed that. See if we can go back and find that here later on. But right now, let's find us a battle here on the racetrack. Look at Meneses. Meneses in the 55. He is in 12th. He's up 6 spots. Right behind him, Daniel Sparks up 12. You can see Meneses looking to the outside of Cal. Right there in front of him. It's a battle there. That's for 8th and 9th. That's Sean Petchen and Peachin and Bryce Dickman in the 30. That's for 8th and 9th. Cal now up to 11th in the 85. He looks underneath JD Biddle. JD Biddle with a good run. JD up 9 spots. And we're going to go, looks like it's going to be only Mason only. And it looked like he's going to go around backwards down the front straightaway here. Keep it on the bottom of the racetrack there, Mason. Going to turn it around, do a little Dukes of Hazzard move. Going to get her going again, back up onto the racetrack. We're going to stay clean and green. Mason only hoping for a caution flag. He is now finding himself way to the back of his field after getting involved in an incident right there. We'll take a quick look at it here. We won't overanalyze this. So we can see the 35 up on the outside. It looks like Steinbach down the bottom. They get together halfway down the front straightaway. Pretty hard contact there for the 35 and the 22 on the front straightaway wall. 22 is going to keep going. Back to live racing action here up front. It is still Landon Slagan. He's going to come up on some live traffic here pretty soon. It looks like the 35 of Only and Boomershine. Paul Boomershine, I'm not sure if he took some damage there somewhere, but he's definitely fallen back. A good qualifying spot up on 11th. He's down here to 22nd right now. The only driver that did pit, a couple drivers pitted on that last stop, was David Sluter and Andrew Bowman. Looks like they were both getting some repairs done. All right, side-by-side battle. This is Keith on the bottom, Gagnon up on the top in the 79. Keith is going to clear Gagnon. That's for 5th. And our top 5 starters are all in the top 5 right now. Gagnon 6th. Zeller now in the 18. He has got the 9 of Sean Peachin down to his inside. Peachin does a good job right there. He started to drift up the racetrack. I thought he was going to get in the left for a quarter there of the 18. He does a good job of checking up. So I'm looking up at our cams. It looks like Dean Wedeking is done for the night. Wyatt also done. Maybe Steinbach as well. The 3 wide back here. Look at Sparks. Sparks gets a little bit. Brewer comes up in there. Tyler Brewer making his way up through the pack right now in the 40. Just about got in the left rear there. Sparks checked up. He is trying to make his way up a little bit further to the front. He's got Sparks right there in front of him in the 04. Modric in the 71 on his tail. Scotty Larson in the 13 did not qualify. Started back in 28th. He's up to 15th now, up 13 spots. He is our biggest mover of the race. He gets a little loose right there off of 4. Saves it right there at the start-finish line. So here comes Scotty Larson now in the 13. Scotty's had some pretty bad luck all throughout this season. He's been fast at times, but unfortunately just does not have the results to show just how quick he's been in that 13 truck. But here comes Brewer now back at Spark for 13. Let's go back up to the front. It looks like Trader making up a little bit of ground on Slagan. Actually, what is it? About a 1.3 seconds. So Landon Slagan, class of the field. Boomershine's going to get into the outside wall right in front of our second and third place driver right there. The 92 of Boomershine with a little mistake. Does a good job of keeping it against the wall because he has Everett Larson, a third place truck, right there behind him. He is going to go a lap down there. Mitchell Williams is going to find his way around the lap truck as well. Bryce Dickman here on the end. We got a car around. It looks like it's... I see Larson involved. I see Spark. And Larson's... Oh, I thought he was going to drive right into the outside wall. He does a good job of saving it. But Larson and Daniel Sparks both involved in this one. Caution is out for the second time here on lap 26. See if we can see what happened here. We jump on board with Larson. He's got Brewer right there in front of him. Sparks in front of Brewer. Let's see if there's a little contact there between the 40 and the 04. Actually, Sparks just gets loose right there. And let's pause this so I can get a better look at it. So we can see Sparks has already gotten loose. He's trying to save the truck. He's sideways down there, and Larson really nowhere to go. Gets right into the driver's door. Some damage there on the 13. Then Scotty does a good job of not driving into the outside wall there at that point. Let's see if we can find a little bit better angle of this from Larson's view. So you can look up there in front. You can see Sparks already getting sideways there. Am I in the wrong truck? Let's go back and look at this here real quick. All right. So here's a view from Scotty Larson in the 13. You can see Sparks and Brewer right there in front of him. Sparks starts to lose it and just comes back up the racetrack. Larson just not enough time to react. Drives right into the passenger side door. We go back to live time. All right, 27 laps down in this race. 93 laps left to go out of the 120. Take a look at our lap leaders here. So since the drop of the green flag, Landon Slagan led every single lap, so definitely been the class of the field. Started on the pole, fast time, has led since the drop of the green flag. Right now this looks like Landon's race to lose. I don't want to give him the broadcaster jinx. All right, lights are still on the pace car. We're going to come around here one more time. Let's see if anybody dives down the pit road. Second caution here on lap 28. It looks like everybody's going to stay out on the racetrack. I'm guessing 120 laps. I'm thinking they can probably go 60 on fuel. Michael, if you're still out there watching, buddy, let me chime into the chat there. Let me know what your fuel strategy was earlier. All right, we're in with our in-car driver Steinbach, who looks to still be in the pits. Raker still out there on the racetrack. We did have like 7 guys on here. We've already lost 2. We lost Weddy King and Mason. Oh, no, Mason is still here with us. So Mason back here in the 23rd spot, a lap down at this point. Brady Zeller down there on the bottom screen for us. Thanks for sharing the cams, guys. We'll jump in every chance we get. Another one of our sponsors, Corbin Matthews Country Music. Had a new song come out last week. Check it out. Jump on, find Corbin on all of your favorite streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Prime, Pandora, whatever, anything you got out there. You can find Corbin Matthews in Nexus Designs. If you need some paint job done for any of your iRacing liveries, find Nexus Designs on Instagram. They're putting out some really top quality stuff. Check them out; they'll help you out. Anything you need, we're going to roll off turn number 4. Green flag will fly this time by. We're going to go back to green flag racing on lap 30. Slagan, Trader, Larson, Williams, Keith. That's your top 5. They even got people holding their phones in the sim, it looks like. All right, so we're going to get back up here to the front. Larson out of second. Taking a look to the outside of Slagan. He got a good start right there, the 0-1. Looking really good on this restart. Can he find his way around the 90? Everett been looking for a win all season long. He picked up the win back at Bristol. And this is about as close to Bristol as you're going to find it. Just a little bit longer from a half mile to a mile. Larson at the bottom. He's looking really good right here. He has got the inside line on Slagan off of 2. Not able to make the pass, so the outside line's just got a little bit of momentum. And the 91 of Slagan still out in front, still led every single lap. Larson giving him a fight here off of 4, but just not able to make the pass. Good battle here a little bit further back. We see the 47 of Raker up there on the outside of Cipollini. Bowman right there behind him, Sparks and Sluter. So David Sluter finished 3rd last week at Watkins Glen. He's kind of stuck back here in the pack. He has pitted twice for some repairs. So trying to get that 95 back in shape after getting involved in an earlier incident. He's trying to find his way up to the front of the field. But up front, we got a battle here for 3rd and 4th. Williams now is going to get around Trader down on the bottom of the racetrack. The 54 of Williams trying to find his way up to 3rd. Trader fights back on the top, and we've seen this all day long. The truck on the bottom can get a great run into the corner, but just can't carry the momentum off. The outside line able to drive back past. Here comes Victor Keith now in the 48 down on the bottom. He's got Dickman to his outside. Let's see if he can make the pass on the bottom, as here comes Dickman. This is off of turn number 4, off of turn number 2 actually. They're side by side. This is for 6th and 7th. Right in front of them is, actually this is for 7th and 8th, is right in front of him is the 18 of Zeller. Zeller with a good run. He's had some bad luck. And back up front, here comes one more time down the front straightaways. Larson trying to find a way around on the bottom, but just not able to make it work. Hard to pass here at Dover early on in this stint. Actually, I'm guessing we're probably about halfway through this stint. So Slagan, Larson, Trader wins. Let's see if we can find a little action somewhere on the racetrack. It looks like Scotty Larson trying to get his way back up there after catches the outside wall. But Beatty down there was inside. It looks like Bowman right there as well. So Larson trying to make that outside work. He makes a little mistake here off the corner, catches the outside wall, but he's got a good run here. Can he get around the 27 off of turn number 2? A little more contact right there. Declan gets loose for a 3 wide into 3. Bowman on the bottom. Beatty backs out. He does not want to be in the middle right there. This is back here for 14th and 15th. No reason to do it. And Larson into the wall one more time in at 13. Scotty Larson trying to get back up here after getting involved in that caution just a little bit ago. He's already up 11 spots. He's trying to get back up to where he was, which was about 14th or 15th at the time. Making some contact with the outside wall. Zeller here in the 18. Brady Zeller with a good run. He's now up to 6. He's got Bryce Dickman. Bryce has completed the pass on Victor Keith. Up in front, it is still Landon Slagan. He has led since the drop of the green flag. 37 laps. Completed, 83 left to go. Larson right there in second. Trying to remember if we're running stages tonight. Nobody gave me any news about that, so we'll find out if they stop or not. All right, Slagan, Larson, Trader. I've kind of said that over and over again. That's your top 3. We'll go back a little bit further. We got Dickman now. Dickman to the inside of Zeller. This is for 6th. The 30 and the 18. Battle for 6th and 7th. A great run into the corner there for Dickman. He gets down on the bottom, just can't hold the momentum off the corner. Zeller's going to get by. Here comes Keith back at him now. Keith trying to get back to 7th. A little further back, we see J.D. Biddle in the 96. The last race we saw J.D. Biddle in was a Cup car race here for the Western Racing League at Bristol. He's looking pretty strong here tonight. He's up 9 spots after starting in 19th. Thanks for being in the YouTube chat here with us. It's your first time here watching a race on DRSN. hit the subscribe button, give us a like, share with your friends, put it up on the big screen at the bar, or whatever you need to do. But right now, it is all Landon Slagan out in front. We go back here to Brandon Cowell in the 85. He is trying to close up on the 48 at Keith. This is for 8th and 9th. Modric back here side by side with Bowman. Bowman trying to make his way back up here after making a little mistake a few laps ago. Bowman now back up to 12th. Meneses and Sparks side by side back behind this battle. Biddle now up on the outside of Bowman, trying to make his way up to 11th. He sits back in 12th. Side by side for 3rd and 4th. You can see Trader and Williams once again battling out for that 3rd spot. Williams once again has to fall to the back. Dickman up alongside the 18. I like that paint job on the 18, not just because it carries the DRSN logo. I just like baseball, so pretty cool livery he's got there on that truck. So nice job there, Brady. Looks like Quentin Steinbach's made his way back onto the racetrack after some lengthy repairs. He's back in 24th. Larson's starting to close up on the back of Slagan. Let's use one of our new toys here. Take a look at our head-to-head matchup here between Landon Slagan and Everett Larson. Last 3 laps, Everett has been quicker. About a 1/10 of a second here the last couple of laps. Exactly 1.181. The last 2 laps he is closing in. If this, and our graphic right here tells us he's going to catch him in 2 laps, but he's already caught him. He's only about a couple truck lengths back at this point. With a head-to-head matchup graphic brought to you by my buddy at Collateral Damage Sports Network, Shane Cochran, putting together all these great overlays and visuals for you here on our software. And we have got 3 trucks now fighting for the lead. It looks like Slagan's truck might be going away a little bit. Trader now to the bottom of Larson for 2nd. They come off at turn number 4. Here comes Nick Trader. Nick ran 2nd last week at Watkins Glen to Krasinski. He is looking to get himself back into 2nd right now. He wants another win. The last win on the season for Trader. Actually, Nick Trader has not won a race this season. He's got a couple poles, but has not picked up a win this season. So Nick Trader looking for his first win on the season, although he's been fast every weekend out. Every Tuesday night here with the Western Racing League, not picked up a win. As we take a look here at Dickman and Zeller, still going at it here. This is for 7th and 8th. Daniel Sparks in the 04. Daniel has been fast since the drop of the green flag. He did make a pit stop back on lap 27, and it looks like he might have taken 4 tires, so I think that's what's really aiding his charge through the field. Because he is now up 16 spots after starting basically dead last in 25th. Now up to 9th for the old. Dickman gets a little bit looser off of 4. Gathers it up, going to keep us going straight here. So Sparks has got a little bit better pace than these 2 trucks in front, but unfortunately there's just nowhere to go. Up in front of this group, we got Gagnon and Bowman. It's 5th and 6th. Bowman on the bottom and Gagnon on the top. Gagnon on the top, not Gagnon. Caution is out. It looks like it may be involving the 77 of Cipollini and Sean Petchin in the 9. As we see him sitting side by side, turn sideways in turn number 3. Let's go back and see what happens here. So we got Peachin down there on the bottom of the racetrack. Cipollini about in the middle of the racetrack. Let's see as they come off of 2. Down the back straight. Well, let's see what happens. Oh, we've got somebody up in front of him getting into the outside wall. Who is that? That looks like... Who was that up there? Can't quite tell who that was. That was Zeller. Brady Zeller. Getting into the outside wall. It's kind of what started that, is I think Peachin started to back up. Let's see if we can find Zeller here on our timing and scoring to see if we can see what happened to Brady. So let's find Brady here on our list of cars. Oh, he just gets a little contact. Just Dickman right there on the inside. I don't know if I really squeezed him up there or not, but unfortunately for Brady, he gets into the outside wall. And then the second incident, just kind of domino effect from that. It looked like Peachin and Cipollini kind of getting together. And as Brady tries to get going again, here comes the 71 of Modric. All right, so we're going to go ahead and check out for just a minute. We got three pit stops underway for most of our drivers. Cipollini's going to stay on the racetrack. But let's be honest, folks, half of racing is making the right decision, and most drivers get them wrong. AI Chief Racing gives you real-time strategy, fuel calls, and a crew chief that actually tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Drive smarter, race better at AIChiefRacing.com. Use the code DRSN at checkout.
Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief, your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief, you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind, and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
All right, we are back to live time. Going to come green this time off of turn number 4. Cipollini with the lead, pitted back on lap 27. Everybody around him on fresh tires. Slagan to his outside. Looks like only was our lucky dog winner. Green flag in the air. Cipollini spins the tires off of turn number 4. He's going to drop down the bottom. He is immediately going to lose the lead down the front straight. And here comes Nick Trader in the 56, going to take advantage of that. Slagan to the outside. Keep an eye on the 77. He is falling back in a hurry. Trader, Slagan, Larson, now Williams. It's a battle up front now. Larson back to the bottom of Slagan. This is for second. Landon led every single lap up to that caution flag. Nick Trader now out in front looking for his first victory on the season. Nick Cipollini, Nico started in on the pole from that, and he's already down to about 9th here. Dickman now girls around to the outside, so the 77 took a gamble. Did not pay off for him, and he is falling back through this field quick. But up front right now, it is Nick Trader, Landon Slagan, Everett Larson, Mitchell Williams in the 54. I think this might be Mitchell's first race with us. All right, down the back straight, we got a great camera angle looking down the back chute into 3 and 4. Slagan starting to reel in the 56 here for the lead. He is right there, right on the tailgate. Trader moves down to the bottom of the racetrack. Slagan to the outside. Has he got enough run off of turn 2? That 91 is strong, and he is going to make the pass. Trader's going to get loose on the bottom. It was almost when Slagan got around the outside. He just sucked the air right off the back of the 56, and he just about went around off of turn number 2. A power move there from Landon Slagan. Back to the front he goes. Larson now looks to the bottom of Trader for second in the 01. Can he make the pass? Off of 2 down the back straightaway. Here comes Larson on the bottom. Trader on the outside just can't quite get the momentum to clear the 56. They're going to come across the stripe. Slagan's going to lead another lap here. Here comes Larson. Larson's had some good pace, but he just can't quite find a way around Trader. Back a little bit further, we see the battle here. This is with Dickman. Daniel Sparks is showing one of his best runs all season long. He's up to 8th after starting 25th. The 04, the Mooslander Racing 04 of Daniel Sparks is coming to the front. He has got a good truck here tonight. Trying to see if he can get one of his best finishes of the season. Let's see if we can find a good battle. Here comes the 40 of Tyler Brewer. Tyler down the bottom right straight. He's got David Sluter right, our points leader in the 95. Little contact right there. Looks like Peachin down there on the bottom. Meneses and Modric. A little contact there with Modric and the 9 of Sean Peachin. They got the 47 of Raker up on the outside as well. And here comes Here comes Raker. He's got a good run, little contact there with him and Menace. Let's get back over to this battle with Sparks and Dickman. Cal right there behind him as well. Victor Keith, who started in 5th, he's down 5 spots. And the top 4 are back to where they started. Slagan, Trader, Larson, and Williams started in the same order they're in right now. Started 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's where they're running 60 laps into this race. Halfway through this race at the line. 60 down, 60 to go. Zeller's going to go around. Brady Zeller, hard contact with the inside wall. The 18 involved in another incident. We have seen this all season long with Brady Zeller, just things not going his way. Let's take a look at the in-car cam here with Brady. Let's go back and see if we can see what happened. His caution is in the air for the 4th time here tonight. So that's not quite the camera angle we want for this replay here, so we're going to go to something a little bit different. We see it just loses the back of the truck, starts to save it, and around he goes, just keeps fighting it back and forth. It just ends up making some hard contact with the inside wall, spins it down into turn number 3. But Brady Zeller shaking his head right there, just can't believe how his night is gone. He had a good truck. He was running up front early, balled it a couple inches. You can see the damage on the right front of the truck on the 18. Right there, you can see the front bumper and that front fender pushed in a little bit. All right, we get back to live time here one more time. We got 62 down, 58 to go. Let's see if anybody comes down the pits. And here comes, looks like a few of our drivers. The leader's going to stay out on the racetrack, but it looks like we got Nico Cipollini, Boomershine, Larson, all making their way down pit lane. And we can see the damage one more time here on the 18 of Brady Zeller. Brady started up in 12th. That has made his way up into the top 5 or top 6. But unfortunately here, he is going to find himself with some timely repairs to do on that truck. All right, let's take a look at our lap leaders throughout this race. Slagan with 57, Trader and Cipollini both led 3. Cipollini leading most of those laps under caution there. Sorry, my brain stopped for a second. Our pit stop cycle here the last time through. Steinbach with the fastest time in and out of 47 cycle. Taking a look at some of our new graphics that we have. Actually, we have a better pit stop one if we can find it here. All right, we're going to go back to green flag racing here. Looks like the lights are out, so we're going to go around one more time here. We'll get back to green flag at Dover here for the Western Racing League. Alright, so Slagan will lead us to green flag one more time here. We'll be at lap 64 when we come across the line. Be 56 laps left to go in this Western Race League Truck Series. Landon Slagan has been the dominant truck all night long. Looking to pick up his 2nd win on the season. Going to come off turn number 4. Green flag will fly. Larson has been fantastic on these restarts. He is going to get up alongside of Slagan. Looks like we had an incident in the back. It looks like the 71 is Modric, but we're going to go back up front here because there's side-by-side off of turn number 2. Larson and Modric. Larson has really been timing these restarts well. He gets up alongside of Trader, up alongside of Slagan here for the lead. The 0-1 of Larson trying to get out front here. Trader now falls back to 3rd. Looked like a little contact there from Modric in the 71, but he's going to keep going. Mitchell now to fourth. He has got Gagnon there right behind him. Gagnon was taking a look to the inside. He settles back there behind him in the fifth spot. Bowman, and look at the 04 of Daniel Sparks, now up to seventh. Daniel Sparks is really finding his liking here at Dover tonight. Keep an eye on the 04. I don't think he's done yet. Daniel's problem throughout the season has been consistency. If he can keep running the way he's running here tonight, we might see Daniel up on the podium. We've kind of single filed out here for about the top 12 spots. See if we can find us some racing action here. We've got Raker back here. He is closing on the back of the 40 of Brewer. Brewer up 10 spots. Started 20th up to 10th. Back here a little further, it looks like Sean Peachin trying to make his way back after being involved in a couple incidents. Trying to follow the 95 of David Suter, our points leader, not having a great night here. He has spent a lot of time in the pits repairing that 95. Let's see if he's got it all back together. It looks pretty good out there right now. He's had enough cautions maybe to get that 95 back to where it needs to be. Right on board here with the 95 of David Suter. Larson has fallen back. Slagan starting to pull away again. Trader there in third. Here comes the 9 of Peachin. I keep saying it either way. I'm going to say it right and wrong all night long, so just get used to it. So Sean back here in the 14th spot. Here goes that Sparks to the inside of Bowman. This is for 6th. The 05-04 of Daniel Sparks trying to get up to 6th. It's a little bit looser off of 4. Keeps it going straight. He has now got Keith to his outside as well. So it looks like that out. You just don't want to be on that inside line. Just cannot get in a good enough run off the corner. So it looks like Keith is now going to make his way up to 7th. Sparks going to fall back to 8th. Bryce Dickman right there behind him in the 9th spot. And Tyler Brewer now up to 10th. Larson mistake. He's going to hit the wall off of 4. That's going to let Trader take a look down to the bottom into 1 and 2. Here comes Nick Trader. Going to try to get that 2nd spot back from Everett Larson. Everett makes a little bit of a mistake. Has to really turn the car down off of turn number 2. Just about gets to the outside wall one more time. Trader now to the bottom. He's got Mitchell Williams to his outside. A great run there from the 54. He is going to clear Trader for 3rd. And a battle back here side by side with Keith and Bowman. Sparks also sneaking into this picture as well. So Trader settles back to 4th. Now Mitchell looking to make his way. Brady Zeller's going to pull down back down to the pit road for some repair. We'll see the 18 make his way down pits one more time. Some more damage looks like on the front of that 18 truck. So Brady just needs a little bit of luck. Good battle here in the mid-pack. This is going to be Sparks, Bowman, Dickman. This is for 7th, 8th, and 9th. Brewer right there on the bottom. They're trying to look underneath the 30 of Dickman. Here comes Raker up on the outside in the 47. Right behind them is Sluter and Cal. So Sluter now back to 12th. Let's take a look up front. Mitchell Williams has shown some pretty good pace. Let's look at his lap times compared to the leader here. The last couple of laps, Mitch Williams was a little bit quicker, but you can see right there in our gaining, he's gaining about 0.031 per lap over the last 5 laps, which would make him about 46 laps in that kind of pace to catch our leader, Landon Slagan. Head-to-head matchup there brought to you by Collateral Sports Damage Network. Viking Construction Group sponsoring the Western Racing League Truck Series all season long. We are here on week number 9 at Dover. Where are we next week? I should actually know this kind of stuff. I don't think it shows me on their schedule. Next week we're going to be at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The old version, it looks like, on the 19th for a 100-lap race. All right, Landon Slagan, just the class of the field. He continues to dominate this race. He's the 2nd out in front of this battle. J.D. Biddle going a lap down there on the outside in the 96. J.D. had moved up throughout the field, but looks to be struggling now. He is now a lap down. And J.D.'s already made 3 pit stops in this race, while our leaders have only made 2. Actually, 1 for most of them. take a look back here again at the 04, trying to keep up on the progress of Daniel Sparks. He is now falling back to 11th. Raker right there behind him. Brewer with a great run up off the corner. Runs up on the back of the 47. Can't find a way around. Goes to the outside. Menace is also on the outside. That is looking at Brandon Cowell in the 85. Great camera angle heading into turn number 3. Bowman, Sluter, and that looks like Peachin. So Peachin getting a good run now. He's back up to 10th. Tyler Brewer in the 40 trying to find a way around Raker. Raker just got by him, so let's see if he can find his way back around. You can see as we go on this longer run, green flag run, you can see everybody kind of washing up the racetrack. That right front tire starting to wear out a little bit. The 47 down the bottom of Sparks, a little bit of contact right there. The 04 is going to go up the racetrack. That's going to cost him a couple of spots. At least one more spot as Brewer gets by as well. So Daniel Sparks' run looks like he may have used his stuff up early. All right, let's take a look here one more time. Let's look at our comparison here with Larson, and Larson looks to be closing up the gap just a little bit. Lap times aren't showing it, but it looks like that gap is now under a second. So Slagan and Larson trying to reel in the leader here. We got 39 laps left to go, 81 laps down. These laps are taking off in a hurry. John Peachin in the 9 takes a look underneath Bowman. This is for 9th and 10th. Bowman's had a good run. He started in 9th. He's still in 9th. Peachin started in 6th. He's now down to 10th. Biggest mover. Let's take a look at our biggest gainers of the race. Scotty Larson up 12 spots. So Scotty started back in 28th. He's up to 16th. Daniel Sparks up 11. Raker also up 11. Brewer up 8. And Cipollini up 6. Let's also take a look at our wrench wranglers of the race. The biggest, most time spent repairing the truck, Steinbach with 9 minutes of damage. Sluter with 1. Trent Hughes with about a minute of repair is done as well. All right, this gap is closing in. Everett Larson is just looking a lot better here on this long run. He is starting to reel in the 91. Mitchell right there with him as well. So Slagan stuff looks to be going away on him here. That 1 second gap is now down to just under 0.2 of a second. Don't forget, we're not done this week here on DRSN. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so you get notified of all the action coming your way tomorrow night. My friend Sagar Bashke will be here with the Appalachian, All-American Appalachian ARCA Series tomorrow night. I will be back Friday night with the Half Decent Racing League Truck Series from Dover. We had a league on Thursday night we were running, but that league has dismantled, so we won't be having any racing action for you on Thursday. So Wednesday, Friday, and possibly Saturday, we will be here for the JWRE racing. So we'll see how that plays out. Caution is out. It looks like it might be. I see Cipollini involved in here. The 92 of Bone Boomershine. Menace is also around in the 55. So 5th caution is out. And Everett Larson's advantage on that long run is going to go away. Slagan's going to be able to come in and take on some tires. And I'm assuming at this point we're going to need just one stop. At this point, they can come in, take some tires and some fuel, and we're going to get to the end of this race. So let's take a look here with Menaces. Scotty Larson makes some contact and comes down the racetrack. Scotty Larson hits the outside wall, comes down the racetrack, catches the 77. Menaces with some evasive action back there with Modric. Kind of looked like they got together. Let's take a look here at that one more time from a little bit different angle. So we can see the, let's see here, where are we at here? So let's take a look at Larson. So Larson up here on the outside of Cipollini. They come off the corner. And Scotty just can't get the truck turned down. Catches the outside wall, shoots down the racetrack, catches the 77. And in the background, you can see Menace is starting to check up. Modric did not see what was going on nearly as quick as Menaces did. And they're going to go both get involved in this. Or Menace is going to go around. We'll take a look. I want to take a look from the... let's see if we can take a look from the nose cam here of Modric. We jump on board up on the roof cam here of Rick Modric. And you're going to see Scotty Larson up there, a few cars up the road. It's just, the car's just going to pick up a push-up off the corner. He's going to catch the outside wall, come down the racetrack, and Meneses sees this. He's starting to check up at this point. You can see the nose of the truck dive down. Modric just does not see it. Gets into the back of the 55. Meneses is going to go down, make some contact with that inside wall. You can see Cipollini with a little bit heavier damage right there in front of him. All right. Wholesale pit stops for most of the field. Here on lap 87, our leader, Landon Slagan, is going to come out with the lead here. We're going to come across the line to see if the lights stay on the pace car. They do, so we're going to go around one more time. No, they're going to go green next time by, so we will not jump to commercial. We've got 32 laps left to go at this point. You see the 01 of Larson there on the outside, Slagan on the bottom. It looked like Everett Larson was a little bit better on that long run. Slagan's definitely been the strongest truck on the short runs. But Everett Larson is going to start on the outside of this, and he has been fantastic on these last few restarts. Let's see if he can find some pace here on this one as well. So we're going to go check in with our webcams here, guys, one more time. We're down to just 4. Steinbach, Raker, Only, and Sparks. And Michael Sparks is a non-finisher. Unfortunately, lives up to his nickname here tonight. So it looks like Michael may be spotting there. We can see him talking to somebody. Maybe he's spotting there for Daniel. And unfortunately, Daniel's fallen all the way down to 20th. All right. Landon has led most of this event. He's definitely been the class of the field. We're going to go green this time off of 4. Watch the 01 Everett Larson. Not quite as good as a restart as he had. Actually, going to maybe even lose a spot here as Trader is going to come up along the inside. Up on the outside to see if the 01 can make anything happen up there. He's going to get a good run off of 2. Catches the outside wall. He gets a little piece of it there. He is now cleared second. Keith now up on the outside, back here in the back, Slagan and Sluter. So Sluter now, after some lengthy repairs, has now got himself back up in the top 10. He's up to 7th. Our point leader, David Sluter, coming to the front. Here's Sean Peachin right there with Bryce Dickman. They've been kind of going at it all day long in the 30 and the 9. But up front here, here's Larson to the bottom of Slagan. They're going to come off at turn number 4. Does he have enough pace off of 4? Just can't quite find the pace off the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Trader now to the outside. He can't use this stuff up too early. We've got 29 laps left to go. Larson's going to take a look back to the bottom one more time. We're almost 3 wide as Trader way up on the outside of the racetrack here. Slagan, Larson, Trader, Mitchell Williams right there. And here comes Victor Keith, the 48, looking strong here on this last stint, trying to make his way back up to the front. He's back up to 5th where he started. Gagnon right there behind him. We've got about 10 cars here nose to tail. It's still anybody's race, even though Landon Slagan has been the dominant car all night long. Ian Meneses is going to drop down to pit road in the 55, get some more repairs done. Great shot here off of 2. Slagan going to make a little contact with the outside wall. That's not going to hurt him too much, as it does not look like Larson was able to make up any ground on him. Side by side a little further back, that's Keith and Williams. Keith up on the outside. He's going to move up to 4th. Trying to find his way around the 54. Trying to bring Gagnon along with him as well. So here comes the 44 with BJ Motorsports number 48 up on the outside. Here comes Gagnon. Gagnon going to try to follow suit. A little bit further back, one more time. Here's Dickman and Peachin going at it. They're just not going to get away from each other this whole race. They're just magnets. The 9 and the 30 have been side by side for most of this race. All right, we've got 25 laps to go. 95 down, 25 left to go in this 120 lap affair here at Dover for the Western Racing League. Take a look back here at the 47 of Raker. Raker up 11 spots now to 11th. He's got Bowman in the 25 and Cal right there behind him. Got a good run from Daniel Sparks going on. Daniel's now falling back to 17th as he fights back here with Rick Modric in the 71. But up front right now, it is Everett Larson trying to chase down the 91 of Slagan. Slagan with a bit of a mistake right there. He's going to catch the outside wall. Is that going to give Larson enough room to get down to the bottom? Doesn't look like it hurt the 91 much. Up off of 4, come across the line one more time. Still, Landon Slagan's going to lead another lap. Larson right there in second. Keith and Gagnon still going at it. Keith now up to 4th. Gagnon to 5th. Gagnon's going to look down to the bottom of the racetrack in the 79. It's been tough to pass on the bottom. That top side just gets too good a run off the corner. And you can see, the contact right there between the 79 and 48. Keith tried to turn down the racetrack. The 79 and Gagnon was right there. That may let Gagnon have give him enough of pacer off of turn number 2 to make the pass. But no, they're going to make contact one more time. Gagnon is going to clear the 48 of Keith. Sean Peachin now into this battle. A little contact with him and Sluter. They're banging through the corner there. Around goes Sluter. Caution will be out again for the 6th time. Actually, this might be, the 6th time. A good guess on my part. So David Sluter is going to go around. He had made his way back up after some damage early on in this race. Some lengthy repairs. So let's see if we can see what happened here to David Sluter. He's got Keith Peachin down to his inside. Keith and Williams right there in front of him. So Peachin moves up the racetrack. And as David Sluter tried to occupy that hole that Peachin had vacated by moving up, Peachin tried to come back down the racetrack and gets into the door of the 95. And unfortunately, that is going to turn David Sluter around. Does a good job of keeping it off the outside wall. Don't think he's going to take a whole lot of damage there. Let's take a look at that in real time. Maybe we can see that from... Let's see if we can see that from the cockpit of David Sluter. Or maybe the nose cam. So you can see David down here on the bottom of the racetrack. You can see Peachin gets down the corner, pushes up the racetrack, opens up the bottom of the racetrack. Sluter just tries to move down. And at the same time, Peachin trying to get back down to the bottom. So he'd opened up the hole in the bottom of the racetrack, and as soon as Sluter occupied it, Peachin tried to come back down the racetrack. Unfortunately for Bryce Dickman, he's going to get involved in this as well. So the 30 truck's going to take a little bit of damage there with some contact with the outside wall. So unfortunate there for David Sluter in the 95 after spending about a few minutes getting that truck repaired. Let's see where he was here tonight. Well, Sluter has spent about a minute 9 trying to get the truck repaired during the night. Did a little bit at every pit stop. There's our wrench wranglers right there. Steinbach with 9 minutes of repairs. And actually Quentin's still out on the racetrack, so we've seen that an awful lot here from Quentin. Even on nights when things don't go his way, he's going to stay out here and finish. As we see Sluter getting some repairs on the racetrack. And here we are one more time up front. And our webcam drivers, we got Raker, Steinbach only. Let's see where they are on the racetrack. So we've got Quentin a lap down there in 24th. Mason a lap down in 21st. Sparks, unfortunately, dead last as he has done for the night. Corbett Raker is our only car on the lead lap, and Corbett is up to 10th. Our Grove City, Iowa driver right now up in the 10th spot. He has to start in 22nd. All right, up front, our lap leaders here one more time. It's been Landon Slagan all night long. 97 laps led, Trader with 3, Cipollini with 3. Larson has been sniffing at the front here all day long. He's now back up to 2nd, Trader back to 3rd. Let's keep an eye on the 95 of Sluter. Sluter's going to come down here, get some repairs done, get 4 fresh tires on. He's got 18 laps here. Let's keep an eye on the 95 and see what he can do here with 4 brand new tires. Everybody else on about 13 or 14 lap old tires. So you can see a 14-second pit stop there from Slagan. This was the last time for Trader and Cars. Why does it say Cars? That's Larson. So it's basically a little nickname he's got in here. I like Cars, so it's showing that last name on the graphic there. All right, green flag's going to go. off of turn number 4. It is going to be Slagan one more time. Bring us to the line. Can Larson find some grip on the outside? Green flag is in the air. A little bit of slip there from Slagan. Looked like he spun the tires right there. That's going to let Larson get some momentum down into turn number 1. Gagnon up on the outside of Trader. We're 2x2 here. Larson's going to lead a little bit by the bumper off a turn. A little contact right there for Slagan. He's going to give it loose. That might let Larson get down to the bottom. Gagnon on the outside. Larson's going to take the lead here into 3 and 4. Gagnon also looking to get around Slagan for a second. Everett Larson to the front across the line here. 16 laps left to go as we cross the start-finish line. So Slagan looked like he spun the tires a little bit on that restart. That let Larson get the momentum down into turn number 1 and 2. They made a little contact off of 2. Here comes Trader with a little bump on the back of Gagnon. We're 2x2 here for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. In the meantime, Larson about a 4-car length advantage. Here comes Gagnon on the top of the racetrack. He is going to get around Slagan. They're going to make some contact. Slagan's going to get into the left rear quarter. Gagnon going to go around. Does a fantastic job of keeping the car off the wall. But race control had thrown the caution. I think they anticipated that was going to be a much larger incident than it was. So let's see. Let's look at the contact right there. Just slight contact from the 91 and the 56. Or excuse me, and the... let's just stop this here. So we have Slagan here on the bottom, Gagnon in the 79 up on the top. And you're going to see as they get down to the corner, little contact right down the front straightaway. And just, I can't tell. I need to go back and look at that at a little different angle here. And as I don't like to do, I don't like to rewind, but we're going to take a look here from the chase cam. And we're going to focus in on the 79 of Gagnon. So they head down into the corner. It's actually contact before they even get into the corner. Let's go back here and take a look at that one more time from this farther chase cam view. All right, so they're going to come off of turn number 4 right here, side by side, Slagan on the bottom, Gagnon on the top. Make a little contact right here, right at the start-finish line. And it looked like Gagnon was pretty much holding his line in the top. The 91 just gets a little contact with that left rear. Turns the 79 around. He does a good job of saving it. Looks like the 47 of Raker and Dickman might have gotten into it a little bit there as they were trying to get slowed up for the caution flag. So a quick caution there from our race control. It's going to regroup us here for a caution on lap number 7. And you know Everett Larson did not want to see this caution come out. He had built himself a pretty decent lead. So the 91 at line is Slagan. A little contact there with Gagnon. Gagnon going to spin around. Looks like he's going to fall back to... looks like he's going to come down to the pit, take some tires. So the 79 down here on pit road, 13 laps left to go. Sluter going to come down and take some more tires. Fuel looks like Sean Peachin as well. Alright, so on this restart, we're going to come around here. Looks like maybe a lap to go. I can't see the pace car left. Actually, I can. The lights are still on, so we're going to come around at least one more time. We'll go back to green flag with about 11 laps left to go. It's Larson, Slagan, Trader, Williams. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. My name is Chris Murphy here on DRSN. Bringing you live coverage of the Western Racing League Viking Construction Group Truck Series. Sponsored by Nexus Designs, Corbin Matthews. Also one of the sponsors here on the series. AI Chief, great piece of software if you're looking for a little help, a little advantage on your crew chief strategies, spotter calls, whatever you want to. They got some coaching stuff they're putting in the app too. Check out AIChiefRacing.com. Use the code DRSN. Actually, if you go to the AIChiefRacing.com/DRSN, sign up with that code. I don't know if that's going to save you any money or not, but it helps me, so that's what we care about, right? So helping Chris out. But don't forget, we got more action coming at you the rest of this week. Tomorrow night, All-American Appalachian ARCA Rookie Series tomorrow night with Sasha Baskey, Tagar Baskey bringing the coverage for that. Then Friday night, I'm back for the Half Decent Racing League Truck Series at Dover. Then we ended our... Go back and watch. If you get a chance, go back and watch the 360 sprint race that we covered earlier in the night at Volusia. That was a fantastic race ending of the Dirt to Go Bachelor 360 Sprint Series. We're going green flag racing there one more time. Thank you so much in the chat there, Kirsten Henderson. Appreciate the shout out. Larson's going to get a good run down into 1 and 2. He gets a good jump. He has been really good on these restarts, and he's showing it again. He is not going to let Slagan get to his outside. As a matter of fact, we got caution in the air one more time, and it looks like an incident here in the back. We see the 27 of Beatty. Oh my goodness, we got the whole field piled up here. I see Sluter involved, Boomershine, and Scotty Larson with a meatball flag, and then Biddle involved in the 96 Menaces as well. If this was a real race, that would have been a red flag. We're going to go back and take a quick look at this, but it looked like just somebody did not get, I'm guessing somebody maybe didn't get going there on the restart. We're going to have to find a good angle here, and let's see here who was involved in this. Beatty was involved in it. Biddle was also involved, so we're going to see if we can find a good angle of this here. All right, so it looks like it might have started up here with Bowman. Let somebody give me find one good angle here. So let's see if we can see what happens here with Bowman. Looks like he catches the outside wall, and as he comes to a stop, Brewer just runs right in the back of him. Biddle, nowhere to go. And then it's just a oh wow, what a ride there from Peach, and he is going to go upside down the front straightaway in the 9 truck. So now that we see where that started at, let's go back and take another look. We'll take a look here from the chopper cam. And it definitely started with Bowman in the 25. Watch the 25, the 4 truck in the on the outside lane here. He's got Brewer right behind him. So he spins the tires right there, and it's going to drive him right into the outside wall. And he just pretty much comes to a stop at that point. Brewer just nowhere to go. Everybody's anticipating the start right here. Modric gets collected. Watch the 9 of Peachin come in here, up in the air, over the top of the 96. We got somebody else going upside down behind this as well. Who was that? That looks like the 13 of Scotty Larson. We got lots of different replays we can show you. Let's take a look here from the chase cam here of Scotty Larson and see what he saw during this caution flag. So let's take a look here at the 13. Somebody's telling me to look at Menace's point of view. We'll jump on that here in a second. So watch the 13 here. He's got Brady Zeller right there behind him. Brady gotten back up into this fight. And you can see the pileup starting right up here in front of him. And here comes Scotty Larson. As he gets some hard contact, he goes up in the air. Up and over is the 13. Somebody said look at the 55 of Menaces. Let's take a look at that. All right, we're going to ride along here with the 55 in real time. So you can see Zeller, and you can see it's all happening right in front of him. And here comes the 55 in here. He's going to get turned around. So heavy damage there on the 55 of Ian Meneses. So a lot of trucks involved in this one. 8 laps left to go. All right, 8th caution flag here tonight at Dover. We had a really long green flag run through the middle of this race, but as we see a lot of times as the closing stages here, we just, once you get a caution, you get kind of cautions compound on top of each other. But Everett Larson looking to pick up the win here tonight at Dover. He made a great move to get into the front. He picked up the last win he had was at Bristol. But he has been good on these high bank concrete racetracks. So see if he can keep the win. Single file restart here. They'll come across the line. 7 laps left to go. Larson, Slagan, Trader, Mitchell Williams, and Keith. That's your top 5. A good start up here for everybody up front. Only a couple of car lengths advantage for Larson going into 1 and 2. He's going to run about the middle of the racetrack. Dive down off to the bottom off of turn number 2. Here comes Slagan. Slagan with a good run off of 2. I don't think Landon Slagan's done yet. He's closing in on the back of the 01. And he's going to get to the back bumper. Gives him a little bit of a bump right there. Slagan is going to turn the 01 off the nose of the 91 right there. Let's see what race control has to say about that. Is the 91 of Slagan caught the 01 right there. and just got right into the back of Larson, and around he goes. So let's take a look at this caution flag. We're going to jump. So Larson gets a little bit loose right here. You can see the 01 getting a little bit loose, and the 91 just can't get woed up enough right there, and gets into the left for a quarter, turns him around. We're going to take a look here one more time from a little bit different angle. So watch the 01 on Larson. As they get down in the corner down here, he does get a little bit loose in the center of the corner. All right, that's not a great camera angle. Let's find a good one here. There we go. Let's back that up. All right, so let's watch the 01 and the 91. And you can see Larson just trying to fight it. Going to go around. So he had a good run, a good chance to win the race here tonight. He was up front of this thing. Contact with the 91 and the 01 is going to send Everett Larson down on pit road. The 91 of Landon Slagan now back up front with 5 laps left to go. Andrew Bowman's going to get the lucky dog, get back on the lead lap. All right, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. You don't want to miss any more action all season long here with the Western Racing League. But right now, we're going to come across the line. 4 laps left to go. I think we're going to go green with about 3 to go. It's another single file restart. Everett Larson now back here in 15th. The 01 had the lead on that last restart. Contact between the 01 and the 91 sends him to the back. We are under caution now for the 9th time. 4 laps left to go. We're going to go back to green flag racing with 3 to go as they're going to come across one more time. Landon Slagan, Nick Trader, Mitchell Williams, Victor Keith, Bryce Dickman, your top 5. Corbett Raker with a good run up to 7th. Daniel Sparks back up into the top 10, back up to 8, up 17 spots. He is the biggest mover of the race. Lap leaders here one more time. Slagan with a 101. Larson led 10. Trader and Cipollini with 3 each. All right, it looks like looks like this one kind of backing up the field right here. Is that Dickman in the 30? Back there in the, so Dickman now up to 5th. A little bit of a gap there between the 4th and 5th in a single file restart. Let's see if they close this up here through 3 and 4. All right, green flag will fly this time off of turn number 4. Slagan, Trader, Williams are going to come across the line with 3 laps left to go. Trader's going to take a look to the inside. A good restart there for the 56. Started to take a peek to the inside. Now goes to the outside. The 91 is Slagan right there. Nick Trader trying to find something up on the top of the racetrack as we look on board here with the 54 of Williams off of turn number 4 across the line. This time 2 laps left to go for Landon Slagan in the 91, looking to pick up another victory on the season, his last win. Actually, I don't think he's picked up a win all season. So Slagan would get his first win of the season if he can hang on to this, but he has got Nick Trader all over the back of him. Off of turn number 4, across the line, 1 lap left to go. White flag in the air. Landon Slagan and Nick Trader. Trader's got some good pace. He is all over the back of the 91. They're going to come off of turn number 2. You can see him get a run. He diamonds it off the bottom of the corner right here. And he has got a good run down the back. Trader, can he find any with the end of turn number 3? Here comes Nick Trader. Going to take a peek to the bottom of the 91. Just can't get up alongside. They're going to come off of turn number 4. It is going to be Landon Slagan at the line. Trader's going to get into the outside wall. Takes a look to the inside. Just can't make it happen. They come across the line. It is Landon Slagan, Nick Trader, Mitchell Williams, Victor Keith with a nice run to 4th. Dickman to 5th. Corbett Raker up 16 spots. Is going to come in the 6th spot. Brandon Cal 7th. Daniel Sparks in 8th. Josh Gagnon 9th. Rick Modric going to round out our field in the top 10. There's your podium right there. Trader Slagan and Mitch Williams. All right, a little bit of controversial there throughout that event. We're going to get in with our interviews here in just a moment, see if we can find anybody in the waiting room with us here in just a moment. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and check out some of the results here after 120 laps at Dover. Let's go back and take a look here at that last caution flag one more time. So on that restart, and you can see Larson got a little bit loose getting in the corner right there. And just enough of a bump, and it did not take much to send the 0-1 around. That was our last caution. And then take a look here at the white flag lap. As you can see here, Landon Slagan and Nick Trader had a good run on him. He had a good shot through 3 and 4. Just did not have enough momentum off the corner to make the pass. He's going to come off of turn number 4 here. Take a look at Slagan, but just can't get up alongside. And it's going to be the 91 and Landon Slagan coming home with a win. Let's see if we can grab Landon here with us. Landon, you got Chris in the booth. Are you there, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's talk through it here a little bit. Tell us how, you looked like the dominant truck all night long. Quite a few caution flags, unfortunately, kind of shuffled things around, but kind of tell us how you saw things throughout the night.
Had real good pace. A couple of the longer runs there. Had some times where I started to fall off real bad. People started to catch back up to me. Had some good racing up there. Got to apologize to 79. Certainly did not mean to make contact with him there. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the replay, but I'm not sure if that was my fault. And the 0-1, I certainly did not mean to completely turn there. I just meant to move. But yeah, happy with the pace. Hadn't had a dominant race like that yet, so that was pretty cool. And get to make up for Atlanta, where I threw it out on the last lap. So certainly happy with the win. It's a good points day. So,
well, first win on the season for you, if I remember correctly, if I'm reading things right. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm looking through the list of winners here, and definitely your first win on the season. So congratulations. It was a good run. Yeah, that last caution flag, Everett looked like he had a pretty good jump on you guys. Got down into 3 and 4, and it looked like he might have got a little bit loose in front of you right there. I'm not quite sure. I kind of looked at the replay a couple of times, but you guys get together there, and Larson ends up back. Where did he end up in this thing? He ended up looks like I can't find his name on my list back in 12th. But you guys look to be going at it all day long. But it was between the three of you, between yourself, Nick, and Everett. But it looked like it was going to be one of the three before, if out of anybody else in the field at that point.
yeah, had some real competitive racing up front there. There was some real close lap times. So, but yeah, I definitely got into his bumper, but just meant to move him up. So, unfortunately, turned him around, but can't change that now. So,
well, good win tonight, buddy. I'm sure we're going to get a chance to talk to you. We had a long season left to go. Definitely a good points night for you, and congratulations on the win. But before we get out of here, anybody else you want to give a thanks to?
got to thank Nick Trader there for racing me clean at the end. Certainly wouldn't have blamed him for moving me. So, I appreciated that. And yeah, just some teammates that do some practice work with me. So, thank you.
All right, buddy. Well, have a good rest of the week, and we'll talk to you again.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right, let's get Nick up here with us. So, Nick, you got Chris in the booth. Are you there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here.
That sounded like a pretty dejected answer back there, my friend.
I call myself now the Sheldon Krieg of WRL.
Well, back in my day, as old as I am, we'd have called you Harry Gant, Mr. Second Place. 2 back-to-back seconds. You ran really good at Watkins Glen. You look good here tonight. You think there's just anything you could have done a little bit different to have something there for Landon at the end there?
Besides moving him, no, because it was so hard to pass on the inside. If you got to the outside, you can pinch him on corner exit and tighten the truck up or get him loose. But in general, there's nothing you could do. It seemed like once you got in the line, it was hard to pass him without just moving him out of the way.
Well, I got to give you a lot of credit, my friend. I'm not, like I said before, I'm an old school guy. I've been around for way too long around all this stuff. And I remember I'm watching NASCAR back in the 70s. That's how I remember things, but for me, I'm not a big fan of this new age NASCAR stuff that everybody watches, where it's okay to get up to somebody's bumper. So I give you a lot of credit there. You could have taken a shot at Landon on that last couple of laps, and you didn't. You tried everything you could, And like you said, there was we watched it all night long. It was just really hard to get by anybody on the bottom. It just looked like the outside just could have just too much momentum off the corner.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to like run over somebody, but if it comes like just to upset the truck just enough to move him, I'd be okay if somebody did it to me as long as it's not wrecking. But I mean, that's the most I could try to do to him. But it was just he drove it in, I drove it in. There was nothing we could do at that point. So it was just hope for the best and hope that we both didn't wreck it come out of 4 as well.
Well, next week we go to Charlotte. So how do you feel about Charlotte next week?
I like Charlotte. I like most of the mile and a half. So we'll just see how next week goes. Hopefully, maybe I can pick up a W finally and not just a second place trophy, be the first loser.
Well, last week it was just you guys put on a great show last week. I've been pushing that race every broadcast I do. I keep telling everybody they got to go back and watch that race last week. You guys just put on a great show. Landon gets the better of you here tonight, unfortunately. But it was a fun race. You, Everett, and Landon just battling it up front all night long. It was a fun one to watch, man. But hey, before you go home, anybody else you want to give a shout out to?
You, of course. I mean, I went back and watched the broadcast every time. So you throwing on a great show for us on the broadcast. Tyler, Nico, David, of course, for putting on this great league. Really do enjoy running over here. They clean it up really nice when it comes to some of the drama. So hopefully they keep up at that. My brother, of course, with the schemes that everyone I run has Transcendent Designs on the back. He makes them and they're awesome. Otherwise, just everybody else for the clean race, and that usually happens through here.
All right, brother. Well, have a good rest of the week. We're going to see you next Tuesday night.
Yep, I'll be there.
Hopefully one spot better for yourself next week, man.
Hopefully. Sheldon Creek right here.
All right, buddy. Take care.
See you guys.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get third place winner Mitchell Williams. Mitchell, you got Chris up in the booth. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, so correct me if I'm wrong. Is this your first race for the Western Racing League? I don't remember seeing your name before.
Yes, I just joined the Discord last week.
So
after watching the walk-ins going.
Well, thanks for watching. If you watched it on the YouTube channel, but fantastic job tonight. You ran up front most of the night, qualified fourth, come home in third. I thought you had a good truck all night long. Is there anything you could have done just a little bit different to get by Nick or Landon there at the end?
I don't think so. They seemed really, really good in the long run, and I was just having a hard time keeping up with them. And I didn't take full field on the last pit stop, and my truck was looser than I would have liked.
Well, it was 9 caution flags, 9 or 10, I think we had tonight. So the one thing we don't talk about it and often is you're running up front of this thing and just caution after caution like that, especially there at the end, you only get a couple of green flag laps. Just how hard it is to kind of get your rhythm going, in those kind of situations.
It felt like it was a few times easy, but there's a few times I saw Nick spin the tires or somebody spin the tires, and I had to back off more than what I liked. And luckily kept it going and held on for top 3.
Well, congratulations on your debut night with the Western Racing League. Come home with a podium finish, man. Hey, but before we let you get out of here, anybody you want to give a thanks to?
I always like to thank Michael, Brandon, Rick for letting me join Team OGRO, and it's always fun to race with those guys, and these guys seem fun to race with. Competitive but fun.
Well, congratulations, man. I'm sure we'll get as good as you were running tonight. I'm sure we're going to see you up here more and more throughout the season. So good luck for the rest of the week, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to go back and take a look here at the full results for tonight here at Dover. And I always am on the wrong page when we start, so there we go. All right, Landon Slagan coming home with his first win on the season. Started on the pole, was the dominant truck all night long, comes home with the win. Nick Trader in second. Mitchell Williams is going to come in third. Victor Keith, Bryce Dickman round out the top 5. A nice run there for Bryce. Corbett Raker up 20. Where did he start? He started back in 22nd, up 16 spots. He is going to come home in 6th. Brandon Cal 7th. Daniel Sparks, the big mover of the race, 17 spots up to 8th. Josh Gagnon 9th. Rick Modric in the 10th spot. David Suter's going to come home in 11th. Everett Larson was leading on that couple with about 4 laps left to go. Is going to come home in 12th. Sean Peachin in 13th. Paul Boomershine with a decent run after getting involved in a couple instances, coming home at 14th, Tyler Brewer 15th, Andrew Bowman 16th, JD Biddle, Mason only, Nico Cipollini, and I always got to emphasize the Nico is going to come home in 19th, and rounding out the top 20 is going to be Declan Beatty. We'll go back to the last few spots here in the 21st. Scotty Larson. Scotty, unfortunately, with some more bad luck here tonight, got involved in a couple incidents, had a good truck, was charged into the front. It's going to come home in 21st. Ian Menace is 22nd. Quentin Steinbach in 23rd. Brady Zeller, Rem Wyatt, Dean Weddeking, Trent Hughes, and Michael Sparks. And I can see a bunch of guys down here in this bottom screen. We had Michael, Weddeking, Zeller, Steinbach, all with webcams tonight. So I'm hoping that it didn't bring you guys some bad luck. I appreciate you sharing the cameras with us, but a bunch of our webcam guys all either didn't finish or finished way out in the back. So hopefully that was not a jinx for you guys, but fantastic run here tonight. Landon Slagan led the most laps with 104 laps led. Daniel Sparks, the hard charge, as we said. Landon Slagan also with the fastest lap. But next week we'll be back. We will be back for, what is it, week number 10, if I remember correctly, at Charlotte here for the Western Racing League Truck Series. Tomorrow night, like I said, tomorrow night, American Appalachian ARCA Rookie Series. Sasha Baskey going to be covering that one. We will be back Friday night for the Half Decent Racing League. Is that what I said? Half Decent Racing League Xfinity Series. And that will be at, where are we going to be at this week? Oh, we're going to be also at Dover. So we're just covering Dover races all week long. So appreciate you being here with us. Again, if you've not hit the subscribe button, do it now. Appreciate all the feedback in the chat. And it's just we're just keep improving this channel as we move along. So thank you so much for being here. We got a big event coming up next Wednesday night. We're supposed to have AI Chief Racing is going to put on a community event. We don't know all the details on this yet. We're still working it out with the folks at AI Chief Racing. So keep an eye on the channel for that one. That should be a fun one. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. And from all of us here at DRSN, congratulations to Landon Slagan on his first one of the season. Thanks for choosing to spend your evening with us. I'm Chris Murphy saying keep it smooth, keep it smart, and if you can't do that, at least keep it entertaining for the folks at home. We're going to see you next time. Good night.